What up, people? It's a new month, which means a new batch of games to buy and put into your backlogs. While it's a lot of great games coming out this month, it's also a pretty good month if you're a fan of RPGs. And because of that, I wanted to quickly go over some of the few coming out in November that I think you should keep on your radar. But before I start, if you're new to the channel, I make videos on single player games with a heavy focus on RPGs. If that's something that interests you and you've been enjoying this video, consider subscribing or just hitting the like button to help with the algorithm. Now, let's talk about some of the top RPGs coming out in the month of November. First up is probably the biggest title coming out this month as far as RPGs are concerned, and that's the Dragon Quest III Remake. This game offers a modernized vision of the original title with additional scenarios, voice acting, new vocations, and modern Dragon Quest series features such as battle tactics or faster battle settings. The game is also supporting the HD 2D design that has become recently popular that you can see in other Square Enix games such as Star Ocean, Octopath Traveler, and Triangle Strategy. So far, I've only played Dragon Quest XI, but in the 50 or so hours I've played, it made me a big fan of the franchise. I own Dragon Quest VIII on my 3DS, and I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest XII whenever that gets announced and released. Now, as far as this remake is concerned, I know very little about it, but I am looking forward to playing it. I love pixel graphic games, and as someone who's played a little bit of Etrian Odyssey on my 3DS, I like the whole first-person turn-based style. Now, because Metaphor ReFantazio still has a hold on me, I personally won't be buying this game day one, but it's definitely a game I can't wait to play on my Steam Deck. The next game I want to talk about is the PS5 arrival of Phantom Brave: The Bermuda Triangle Remastered. If I'm not mistaken, this game is a remastered version of a port that was originally released on the PS2 in 2004. Up until now, I believe this game has only been on PC and Switch, so I'm glad people who play mostly on PlayStation can finally play it. Also, speaking of PC, the PC version will be getting an upgrade as well that will include 120 frames per second support, improved 3D modeling and landscape textures, and many other quality of life features. While this game does look really fun, I'm actually more excited for the one that's coming out next year. I believe it's called Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero or something like that. I've never played a Phantom Brave game before, and the gameplay I saw of Lost Hero really piqued my interest. But maybe I'll pick this one up as like a warm-up or something. Who knows? The next game that you should keep on your radar is Mario & Luigi Brothership. It's an exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, obviously, and it's the first new entry to the Mario & Luigi RPG series in over 9 years. I've never actually played any of the Mario & Luigi games before. I was going to buy one for my 3DS before the eShop closed, but by that time I had already spent around $300 on games and couldn't justify spending any more. By the way, I made a couple of videos on some must-buy games for the 3DS if you're still out there looking, just letting you know. Anyway, the gameplay I've seen of the game so far looks really fun, and I love the different animations shown during combat. The art style and the over-the-top expressiveness Mario and Luigi have during various cutscenes is also something I appreciate. The whole game has this 90s cartoon vibe to it, you know? While this won't be a day one buy for me because I still have to get through Zelda first, I'll probably pick this up around Black Friday when it's on sale. Hopefully it's on sale. Okay, this next one is actually about a game that's already out, and that's Genshin Impact and how it's releasing on Xbox later on this month. Side note, I actually had no idea Genshin Impact wasn't on Xbox. Like, that's actually crazy. This game has been out like, what, 5 years? But anyway, the popular free-to-play RPG will be coming to Xbox this month on Game Pass, and there's also some perks to go along with it. Outside of the cross-save and cross-progression that's assumed to be available across consoles and PC, Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will also receive some in-game bundles. I've tried a couple of games from the Hoyoverse tree, such as Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero, I believe it's called. They were fun enough, but they never could take me away or take any of my interest away from other games that I actually paid for, and Genshin Impact didn't really interest me at all. But with cross-save being a thing, plus some of the perks available on Game Pass, maybe I'll give it a shot. Now, I rarely talk about Xbox or Xbox games on my channel, but I am glad that RPG fans who mostly play on Xbox can finally play this popular RPG. Next up is Lost Eidolons: Veil of the Witch. The game is a tactical roguelike RPG which returns players to the land of Benario, picking up after the events of the original Lost Eidolons. Unlike the original, the developers this time around have decided to focus much more on the combat side of things. And speaking of combat, you will form a party from a pool of characters to embark on a multi-act quest with branching paths to choose from, each with different challenges and rewards testing you along the way. Depending on how well you do in a given run, you'll be rewarded with points that you can spend in the Veil City, which grants permanent improvements to improve your chances of success in future runs. While I'm not super into all the randomness that comes with roguelike games, I do like tactical RPGs, so maybe I'll give this a shot down the line. Lost Eidolons: Veil of the Witch will be available for early access November 5th. The last RPG I want to talk about is probably the one I was originally the most excited about, and that's Metal Slug Tactics. Unlike other run and gun games in the Metal Slug franchise, Metal Slug Tactics is a top-down turn-based game. When it comes to gameplay, the world map is divided into regions, with each culminating in a boss fight. Each region is further divided into several missions that players can complete in any order. You can choose 3 characters for each mission, and each character has a primary weapon which has unlimited ammo, a secondary weapon with limited ammo, and a distinct skill. Activating special abilities consume adrenaline, which is generated through movement in the battlefield and attacking enemies. I was so excited for this game when it was first announced like 3 years ago at a Nintendo Direct. We ended up not hearing anything up until recently, which was torture, but I'm glad the wait is almost over. Like I just mentioned with Lost Eidolons, I'm not really a fan of roguelikes, but I love the art style of Metal Slug Tactics so much that I'm gonna give this game a try anyway, and I think you should too when it releases on November 5th. Alright, that's all the games I got for you today. What games are you picking up this month? And what games are you already playing? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more RPG content from me, click one of the links on the screen, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with the channel. Later!